Yo, 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 it's your boy JayDub, and we back again. Hope y'all doing
Yes,
good.
sir.
Hope y'all doing good. I'm here with my boy Kingsblood Gaming, Broadband Bully. What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Oh man, everything is great, my brother. Everything is great. Glad to be here. Glad to be talking about these games with you. Chopping it up about that PlayStation showcase. Yes, sir.
Big facts, big facts. Well, I tell you what, man. To me, I think it was one for the ages. A lot of people asking Sony, "Where are you? Where are the E3? What happened to all these hundreds of events that you were going to have?" Sony's scared. They don't have anything to show. That's why they're quiet. They don't have anything for the remaining of the year. And I wanted to get you on here and get your opinion of it. I think I've said a lot about my opinion and what I think we're doing. I want to hear from you directly. What were your opinion on your show? Was the pacing okay? Did the games grab your attention? Do you think it silenced the critics? And
I,
yeah, go ahead.
I think the pacing was wonderful. You talking about 40 minutes? You talking about 40 minutes back to back games?
Hmm.
Now, a lot of people might not like that little kitty game. That had to be in there. It was only like one of them, so
Yeah.
you had to respect it. You know what I'm saying? But for the overall show, the way I felt about it. Now, this might sound crazy to some, but any of y'all remember that one shot? I remember Kobe Bryant making a shot, then telling the crowd, "Shh,
Yeah.
yo," like because they was talking heavy. They Sony's scared. They don't want to come to E3.
Mm.
Shut up. Sony said, "Shut
Facts.
up,
Big
shut up.
facts.
You don't know what you talking about. This ain't even everything. This is really just a teaser. To be honest with you, you gotta
Yeah.
understand. All you really seen was Insomniac up there killing them. They still got
Exactly.
Naughty Dog. They still got they Guerrilla Games. They got a lot of stuff you ain't seen. I mean, we know that Horizon wasn't there. They left that for after the show to show more gameplay and everything. But we know that's coming next year. And on
Exactly.
top of that, they gave us everything they gave us at that show. Now a lot of people was downplaying the first half of the show, which I don't understand how you can because look at what they showed. You got KOTOR, you
Mm.
had Project Eve. Project
Mm.
Eve, oh my God, like what?
Godly. Godly.
You know, a lot of people love Borderlands. You got Tiny Tina's Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is multi-platform, but everybody has multi-platform on their show, so it doesn't matter. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
So, but you know what was exclusive. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? Showing Forspoken. A lot of people say, "Oh, I seen that already." Look, I didn't see it already.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I seen a lot of stuff I'd never seen. Ghostwire Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo. Oh
Hmm.
man, you heard? I mean,
Yeah.
if anything, the only L I seen had to be like Grand Theft Auto 5 because but Grand Theft Auto, you gonna do what they say, so you can try to get that exclusive for when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. You know what I mean? So
Well, you
that's
make a very valid point, especially with the Grand Theft Auto. I think for the first note, I'll say this: I had a couple of fan favorites there. We're gonna get to the big stuff
right.
in a bit. We'll get to the big stuff, but I think the majority of us think that the critics are have been silenced on the what was Sony going to do. Are they scared? Do they have any games to show? What are they going to do? And so we're gonna get on that, and we're also going to talk about Xbox. How do they respond? Do Phil Spencer respond to this show, or he doesn't? But
Right.
shout out to CB3, man. I want to get some of the guys out in the chat section, man, that been rocking out with me. Shout out to CB3, was good. Jay the God was good. Tyron Singh, why y'all come on and fill up in here? I'm gonna go ahead and shout you out. Tommy Bull, my brother, Immortal Black, was good. Yeah, it's late night, man. Your boy trying. I'm trying. We'll get it together. It's all good. DDP 540 in the house. My brother was good. J Love, I see you, fam. I see you. Verge Brizzle. Hit that like button. Absolutely, man. Hit that like and subscribe. But one of the important things that you kind of mentioned was uh, it seemed that even if you didn't like some of their games, there was something there for you. And I think
Right.
that's the most important part when we talk about these games is not every single game has to be for you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are not into Grand Theft Auto 5. Some people are into RPGs. Some people are into Japanese RPGs. Some people are into action games, hack and slash, and all kind of. Some people into horror games. But there
Right.
is something for you with that lineup they did. And I think because of that, they show something for everybody. Even that game called Chia, right? It's a kiddie game. It kind of looks like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. Guess what?
Right.
It wasn't for you, but it was for those people who play Animal Crossing. It was for those people. And think about it. Animal Crossing was one of the biggest games in the world. So if Sony's trying to
Right.
compete on that level or bring something to that platform to get those guys on PlayStation, kudos to them. Again, the multi-plats, all good. Listen, one thing about multi-plats, if you pay for the marketing rights to that deal, then majority of the people should come to your platform to play it because you have the perks. Like PlayStation has Call of Duty. They also got we are able to get the beta 2 weeks ago, the early alpha beta, whereas PlayStation and PC guys did. So there are perks to buying into an ecosystem, and I think that speaks volumes. And when we look at which company is doing what marketing deal, do you think one company is getting the better version of the marketed deals when it comes to multiplats, or which one do you think is kind of handling their juggling these multiplats better?
When it comes, I don't know. See, I just feel like Sony as a company carries themselves different. Like you be thinking that's a Sony exclusive when they show that thing on TV. You know what I'm saying? Xbox had a marketing deal sometimes. And you be like, well, you know, it's coming to PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's it's kind of hard for me to even answer that, to be honest with you, bro. Like
Yeah,
I like the way Sony carried themselves with them. Like Call of, you know, could they always getting something early on Call of Duty? Like I remember being mad because Sony used to get stuff early all the time. You like, oh, come on, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Marketing deals used to piss me off sometimes, man, because I'm like, yo, why Xbox don't get the marketing deal for this? But you know, this
yeah.
back in like 2016 when they was going through that thing they was going through. You know?
Yeah. Well, and if you think
And,
about it, Microsoft has to deal with Madden, right?
right,
I think they may or may not have the deal with 2K or something like that. So that's it. They have the marketing deal with Battlefield, but you know, I don't know. But Sony has the Call of Duties. They have Grand Theft Autos, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. They bought into Epic Games, right? They own a small smidget of Epic Games, so therefore they're able to get perks and deals inside of Fortnite, stuff like that. So I mean, there's just
right,
something there's something, I guess, on both sides to offer from the multiplats. I just feel like when Sony markets, when they sign a partnership with a deal, I just feel like they choose the right games. Think about this.
right,
Microsoft partnered with the Falconeer, the company that made Falconeer, right? They were able
right,
to get that marketed for their platform, even though it's a multiplat. The same thing with the Medium. It's a
right,
multiplat. But those games I figured they didn't do nothing for Xbox. They didn't help them in any kind of way. If anything, most people saw those games, they laughed at them, they mocked, they used it for the the fanboy fodder.
right.
But when Sony do deals, they seem to be bigger deals. The Final Fantasies, the what are some even Deathloop, right? Tokyo Ghostwire, stuff like that. That it may
But
not be a cup of tea, but it's a lot better than the Falconeer and Medium. You see what I'm saying?
But Jay, I gotta ask you: do you believe that has something to do with Game Pass? Them having to, you know, partner with them companies. I mean, come on, man, the medium. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah,
like, I feel like it has something to do with them getting it in Game Pass. You know, I feel like all that be tied in together. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh, when it comes to Microsoft, like their strategic moves, I feel like a lot of it has something to do with either getting it in Game Pass day one or getting it in Game Pass later on down the road. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I, everything they do seems to be strategically like gearing games up to go into Game Pass because it's their heavy hitter right now. It's their big dog. It's all Xbox game fans be talking about right now. So when I
Absolutely.
see things like that, that's all I think about. Okay, they trying to get games for Game Pass. They need content, no matter what. Game Pass is like a YouTube channel. They need content at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
you got to keep putting that on there.
Yeah, you got to have fresh content. You brought up a good point. I'm glad you said that. But I'm going to go ahead and read out a couple more people who came in here. Immortal Black, I see you. Magnificent Black. Ross Sadie in the house. James Lewis, I see you. Black Sabbath. We got Post Up in the house. Pepe Instigator. We got Derpy. What's good? What's good, Derpy? What's good, everybody? Man, hit that like button. I see y'all. I see y'all. Just doing this interview tonight with Kingsblood, getting some of his wisdom in here and, see what's going on. Now you made a another point with Game Pass, right? Because we've seen Wolverine, right? And we're going to get into that here in a second. We saw Wolverine, we saw Spider-Man 2. Venom had his showcase and stuff in there. We got the Miles Morales. Those type of games are big blockbuster, $100 million plus games. Those games you can't do inside of Game Pass. At a Game Pass, because it would be very expensive to spend $100 million for each of those games and turn around and sell them for $15 a pop. You see what I'm saying? And that's, a person may play it, they may not play it, but if they play it, you beat it. And then after that, then you spent all that money. So I just don't know what that Game Pass model in the type of games that they are putting on there. Like you said, those seem to be the type of games that are filling up that portfolio inside of Game Pass. And so, go ahead.
My brother Post Up tells me that Game Pass is profitable. In order for Game Pass to be profitable, they can't have multiple, like 20, $100 million games out there in development. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
absolutely.
It don't add, to me, it just doesn't add up right. Like, it's the reason why Netflix is never going to be
profitable.
Positive. It's never going to be profitable. They're always in debt because they got hundreds of $million in development out there at all times, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But my brother Post Up said Game Pass is profitable. So therefore, and when I look at these games, I'm like, well, yeah, they can't be spending that much on games, so maybe they are. You know what I'm saying? 20-some million subscribers, true. At least about 10 million of them $1 a month. I mean, they making some money, man. Like, but when it comes to people like me, like, I'm sorry, bro, I gotta have that AAA. I gotta have them bangers, man.
You gotta have the bangers. The
goaties.
I'm
not here for the bleeding edges. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for that. And
absolutely.
No disrespect to anybody that like to play that, but I'm not here for that. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
They were like, Ken, you got a PC and you only want to play console games. Well, number one, they're made on PC. Number two, PC is where they can run it. The best. I don't be want to hear it.
The best.
Know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
You know what I'm here for, bro. If you see me on a AA game, it must have been fire like PUBG. Other than that, bro, you know
absolutely. What I'm on. Absolutely. Man, we got go ahead.
You're not about to have me playing and don't get it twisted. On the Xbox side, there are games I want to play. Avowed, I want to play Elder Scrolls. Come on, man. You know me. Yeah. Elder Scrolls, Fallout. You know what I'm into all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they got games on that side too. But when I seen at that showcase, okay. Oh, they doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, I see you. Hey, you ain't got to say nothing else.
They were speaking to you, huh? They were speaking to you, huh? Yeah.
I know what y'all doing. This day, shut up.
Big facts. Big facts.
They might have been talking to Tim Dog low key. Tim was out there. Starfield. Sony scared. Hey, Tim.
Oh man! Shout out to my brother. Man, my brother Post Up with the $5. Two of the biggest frauds in gaming. Shaking my head. Oh man, Post. Come on,
my brother.
Can we breathe? Post? Hey, we got Lay. We got the Queen in the house. Morgan Kimes. What's good, sweetie? Quincy Sarias. Ghost of New Orleans. Hey y'all, hit that like button. JayDub, I see you. Post Up is ranting and raving. We got my boy, young boy Gip. Welcome this evening, man. J Boss, I see you. Phil Collins in the air tonight. Was good. Yeah, you're right. Prior to this show, everyone was screaming Bethesda, Starfield. And 24 hours later, everyone's begging Phil for comic games. They want a Batman. They want a Marvel game. What's with that? I thought that stuff didn't matter. I thought they were too grown for cartoony games. Talk about that, Kingsblood.
I said this on Twitter. while Phil was in Japan looking for JRPGs,
Mm-hmm.
Sony was out there getting Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm.
They already lapped you on that. They on to the next thing. You out there worried about what they gonna get anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like Jim Ryan and them boys wasn't playing. They gonna get them. They gonna get them this generation. This generation, they got the Marvel characters. I don't know what to tell y'all, but Marvel is gonna be big for PlayStation, man.
Did you see though the very 1 minute, the very first minute montage, that little intro trailer that they showed with the king and the hat and the dudes playing chess?
Mm-hmm.
That was a statement. That was a shot over the bow over to Microsoft that we are fucking playing chess, not checkers. That was a shot at Microsoft directly. And the pacing of the show, they started off obviously with KOTOR, with Star Wars KOTOR, Knights of the Round Table. I mean, Knights of the Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So think about it. They started with that, and that used to be a Microsoft game. That was a Microsoft IP.
And they say it's a remake. I feel like am I right about the first one being some type of like back and forth like the action was like I don't remember. I don't think it was like a hack and slash style. I think it was
RTS,
like turn-based.
Turn-based.
I thought it was turn-based, something like that. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that.
So,
but I don't remember it being like that. You know what I mean?
Rumors
so
have
if
it.
they doing a remake, I feel like they gonna make it what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
I'm big on Star Wars games. I beat all the Force Unleashed. I beat the Last Jedi game. I'm into all those. So
put it like this. King, I don't think we should worry, because when you look at Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? It has both options. You can play in turn-based, or you can play with the action style that they wanted you to play it in. So the original Final Fantasy VII was turn-based. So you have to think of it that way, is they are going to take this game, remake it with the same theme, but it's remade in modern times with modern animations and their vision of what a newly created project would be. So trust me, they know what gamers want. This is easily $150-200 million game because of Star Wars license alone. We know those games aren't cheap. But they got Aspire. Shout out to Aspire. They got those guys working on it. They're going to be working closely with the Sony first party studios to make sure that they got all the latest tech and things that they need to, motion cap if they need it and stuff like that. So it was good to hear Jim Ryan and those guys talk about that. At the end of the day, I look at it like these are things that Xbox guys have been basically begging Phil Spencer for. They've been saying, give us another Star Wars game. Give us this. We want that.
Weren't they supposed to get Black Panther or something like that? I remember them talking about it. Well, that might have been just another.
There's always rumors, right? Remember there was rumors about shout out to Post Up. There was rumors about Microsoft buying Take-Two. Well, come to find out, they had the wrong Rockstar, right? It was the Rockstar Energy drink, not the Rockstar video game company. So stuff like, that's a big L. Shout out to Post Up on that. We see you, big fella. But yeah, Star Wars, great big IP. Sony went in, swooped that IP up from Microsoft, and then think about it, Insomniac.
The bots keep saying it's a multi-platform.
It's not.
Has there been any word on it?
There hasn't been any word. What they want to say is it's a timed exclusive, so it'll be on PlayStation for 2 years, right? They want to say that, and eventually we'll get it. The thing about that, right, is Final Fantasy VII, right, still hasn't came to Xbox, and it's going on 2 years now. And the deal for that was PlayStation has the exclusive rights to that game for a certain period of time. The problem is Final Fantasy VII is one game. It's just one game, but because they did the remake, they're splitting it into 3 parts, so they won't get it on Xbox until the complete game is done. So, hey man, who knows? Let's say a year later, it finally comes to Xbox. The mere fact that PlayStation guys get treated with royalty with all of these early access games, with all of these exclusive games and all of this exclusive third party and second party content, whereas guys on the other side, they don't get that luxury. They get, maybe
Don't get
three
the love.
months. Yeah, maybe 3 months, right? Like, what's the game? The shooting game that they're looking forward to. Uh, it starts with an S. They've been hyping it up. They've been hyping it up. It's like Metro Exodus. Do you know what?
Stalker.
Stalker. Yeah, Stalker 2, right? They're hyping up Stalker 2. Guess what? After it's only exclusive for 3 months. So that's not long to wait. But if you gotta wait a year or 2 years, that's worth spending that money on. I just don't think 3 months was worth however much money that Phil spent for that license. Shout out to Phil Collins with the $2. I appreciate that, my brother. He said Xbox might go to Marvel and leave with a squirrel game. God damn. Oh man. But let's. Yeah, big time. Let's move a little bit further on into the show. We know we started with Star Wars, and then they started showing Forspoken, which looks like a great game. It's brand new. It's from Square Enix. It's from the same team that made Final Fantasy 15. And it is exclusive to PlayStation. The console, it's coming on PC too. So shout out to Big 3090. He get to play that joint in the highest fidelity in 8K and 120 frames and everything goes. But I think that game looks amazing. It has Ella Balinska, I think that's her name, in there. She's a great actor. It looks very good. It looks very technically advanced, and these are showpieces, right? That shows you what the console can do. Why can't we? This is something I would like for Xbox to have on their side exclusive. I would like for Phil to cut deals like this, where we get those games and we say, "Whoa, that looks like that's taking advantage of the power of this particular console." Why are we not seeing it on the other side, whereas Sony has presented a lot of these games like that?
Because Sony is down to take risks and Xbox is trying to find the formula. They don't want to. I feel like Xbox isn't really. They're not really looking to take those kind of risks. They just want a formula. That's why they keep talking about games as a service. Like they really believe in it because they see it. But everybody keeps trying to make this games as a service game, and they all be flopping, man. Like. I hate to break it to them, but I mean, Halo is going to be that for them. Halo is going to be big. Halo's going to be. Yeah. They're going to do numbers. They're going to do that thing with Halo for years to come. I mean, it's Halo. Yeah. They're going to have everything for sale. It's just going to keep going. But you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to come up with that next, games as a service. Like, some companies are good at it. Some companies aren't. You know what I'm saying? So when you keep reaching for that style. Yeah, that means you're gonna sleep on the Forspokens. Okay, you're gonna sleep on that. You're not looking at that. You're looking at trying to get that extra dollar. You're trying to scrape the plate in gaming, and instead you're missing over on good things. And that's why I gotta tip my hat to Sony, man. They stick to what it is. They stand by these single player games. You gotta remember, Phil said for single player games aren't the way of the future. Absolutely. And absolutely. I feel like they're really showing it, but but we're not gonna act like they haven't done their part. They got Bethesda now. Hopefully they stand by Bethesda and let them take all them years to put out those Elder Scrolls and don't just try to go for that Elder Scrolls Online because that's
my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they do that?
That's just Fallout Online, Fallout 76 is terrible. And don't do that Elder Scrolls Online. I'm sorry, Elder Scrolls. I'm stingy when it comes to Elder Scrolls. I don't want nobody else in my world. Get out of my world. Absolutely. I'm literally uploading my mind into this game because I'm about to take over. As soon as I build.
Isn't it funny that they're quick to do the services games and stuff like that, but the basic stuff as like co-op and hell, even co-op, online co-op in Battletoads. Halo won't have co-op at launch. Battletoads didn't have co-op. Just the basic stuff that you should have, they don't have. And so it's like, who drops the ball with that. Like somebody has to be to blame
I
for
got
that.
one better. I got one better for you, JayDub. And don't get it twisted. That's bad. But I put it like this.
Mhm.
Why is it that they only move on it when they see other people do it? They had destiny sitting in their lap.
Absolutely.
They said
Absolutely.
no. You said no because you didn't see the vision.
Absolutely.
You need to see other people do it first before you try to go after it.
So they need a visionary. They need a visionary. That's something that Microsoft is lacking, and that's someone who's a visionary. They can see that, and that I think that's something that Sony and Nintendo excels at. They know the fan base. They know what the fan base is looking for, and I kind of feel like Microsoft is telling the fan base what they're going to get in their vision, the gamer's vision of what gaming is just it moves with whatever Phil and Aaron Greenberg and the executives say.
Yeah,
because I remember clearly, nobody wanted any one and done games, right? Single player story driven games were one and done. But there was one time we had one game called Fable. That was a big one and done game. And there was a bunch of other games. Absolutely. It was a great game, high Metacritic game. Everyone loved it until Phil said that those games don't matter anymore. And then all of a sudden, we don't want one and dones. And guess what? And now Phil is starting to bring some more one and done type games. All of a sudden, oh my God, we're getting Starfield. Guess what? That's a one and done game.
Right.
Hellblade is a one and done game.
One and done.
So there's a hypocrisy of, just like they said, exclusives didn't matter, right? Exclusives didn't matter because they didn't have them. But now exclusives are coming in the pipeline. Now they want the exclusivity. Yeah. Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Surgeon 7, I see you. I see all y'all, man. Thank y'all for the love. We're going to move the conversation over to the middle to the end of the actual event. The middle of the show, they showed Chia, your Grand Theft Autos and some of the other games like Deathloop and stuff like that, which I bought Deathloop. I'll be playing it on Monday afternoon. Hopefully that game comes out great. And then once they got that stuff out the way, that PlayStation Studio symbol came out. Herman Holtz came out, said what he had to say, and then you saw that PlayStation Studio symbol. And there is just something, King. There is just something about when you hear that ching and you see that PlayStation Studio logo come up on the screen. Something just grabs your attention and says something's finna go down. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just, am I making it up? It's just something tells you that something's going to be extra crispy when you see that logo.
Yeah, you kind of felt the vibe there. Oh, okay. This is it right here. Something big. It's like, what can I say? It's like something like on Jurassic Park when that fence start ripping down.
Yeah.
T-Rex step out. Bruh, like,
oh man,
you just get blown away when you see that. I'm sorry, we can sit here and lie to ourselves all we want. Yeah, we know the truth. When they start showing them exclusive games, you know what Sony is bringing, bro. It's not a game to them when it comes the quality, the attention to details, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, GT, I told you I haven't played it. I haven't played a GT since GT3.
Absolutely.
But I'm never going to act like Gran Turismo wasn't the grandfather. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for Forza. Forza Motorsports is going to be another year, so I gotta get my sports fixing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's time for regular tracks. I need Laguna second in my life. Hopefully, Gran Turismo 7 got that track.
Absolutely, preach.
I need Laguna second in my life, bro. Like,
preach.
I can't race y'all on them roads. I don't know, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm jumping on that GT, man. I'm sorry, but 2022 is gonna be a good year, man.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
And that Spider-Man had me like, oh my God.
Man, I did a live reaction video. I was simulcasting with Next Gen 720 with Z. You know what I'm saying? We were over there, but I was recording everything live as it was going on, and I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready, and my expression kind of, said it all. Shout out to Morgan Kimes, a beautiful and lovely Morgan Kimes with the $10. Thank you, sweetie. She said that PlayStation fragrance is smelling great. Absolutely. Can y'all smell it?
Mm-hmm.
When y'all see that PlayStation Studio logo, you know something great is about to happen. You know a GOTY is right around the corner. And that's the thing about it. The last 10 the first 5 minutes and the last 10 minutes of the show, there was about 6 game of the year winners and contenders right there. And let's talk about, while we're talking about game of the year and winners and contenders, Sony has won. They have been in contention of game of the year every single year since last generation. I mean, since, pretty much all last generation.
Right.
Let's say the first 2 years, yeah, they're catching their feelings. But once they came out with Bloodborne, every year after that, they just had a GOTY, right? You had your Uncharted and on and on and on. You got to watch all.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you about the leadership over there?
That tells me that they're playing to win. Here's the thing about it. I think Sony look at this as it's combat. We're in a war. This is combat. We have to win. We have to win the souls and the minds of gamers. We want them to buy our console, buy into our ecosystem, buy into our services, buy into our controllers and its accessories, buy into our VR, buy into our movies, buy into our music, buy into our TV shows we're producing now. I mean, this is everything, buy into our cameras. I mean, everything. And I think with that mindset, you can't lose. Because some gamers say now, well, I don't really need a PlayStation 5. I'm just going to buy it on PlayStation 4. And you know my reply is, I don't care if you buy it on PlayStation 4 or 5, as long as you're buying it on a PlayStation. Right. Guess what? That funds a sequel to a game that I'm going to want because it's going to be a GOTY. In Microsoft, the competition just doesn't do that. Nintendo does it, right? They have their crowd. They cater to their crowd. They do what they do. They have GOTYs. They have, they go for the gusto as well. Microsoft hasn't went for the GOTYs since Halo 3. They haven't won a game of the year or had a contender since Halo 3. What does that say about the company?
I guess I mean, it honestly tells you that the focus, the direction of their gaming division, it feels like they're going the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you putting out bleeding edges and crackdowns and come on, man. Like, what are we doing? What is this, man? What is this?
But King, there's something for everybody. They love it. Everybody's playing Sea of Thieves. Over 20 million people booted it up.
I give them their credit. They spent that money and they turned it around over there. We got it. JayDub, we got to keep it honest. We got to tip their head.
Absolutely.
They turning it around. But I mean, I just feel like because of Game Pass, there's always going to be like games I feel like should have never came out. Like, who was that? Who was it? Had like, Bleeding Edge like died in like 3 weeks or something like that. Wasn't it? Like,
absolutely.
That's his death.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, and that was Ninja Theory's game.
Right. Like it should have never left, man. It should have never been out there.
But King, what about the excuses? But it was made by the B team.
Right.
Well, guess what? Somebody had to green like that. And that goes back to a point I was trying to make earlier. Who is green lighting these games that allow it to damage not only the franchise, not only the studio, but the Xbox brand? Xbox used to mean something. The brand used to be. It doesn't have the longevity as PlayStation, Nintendo, but in the 360 era, even in the OG Xbox One era, it was a force to be reckoned with. It had the respect. It made Sony and Nintendo step their game up, right? It was kicking the PlayStation 3's ass. Sony, I mean, they really had to scrap to fight back, right? They put the game on notice, and so they were respected in the industry. And right now, I feel like that respect is no longer there. I feel like they lost the respect. I mean, Xbox at this point, I feel like for the last 7-8 years, is not only become a meme, but people have lost the respect for some beloved franchises such as Halo and Gears.
I feel like it doesn't cater to. I feel like Xbox somehow got younger or something. I like that 2017 when I jumped on the PC and I never looked back. I felt like this console seems to be getting younger or something. Like I'm not into Nintendo. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't into Sea of Thieves and none of that. I just wasn't. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I like playing. I like seeing people get their brains bashed out and crazy stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
naturally, I'm loving. I'm loving The Last of Us and stuff like that. Like, that's what I meant. That's what
It's
this
mature.
For me.
It's mature.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a mature radio. Yeah.
For like
grown man games.
That, I had to make that move. It was a move I had to make.
Yeah.
And I don't even look back. Like I didn't even care. Like, I wouldn't even have an Xbox One X if I didn't. I wish I would have canceled my subscription because there really was no need for it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I've been heavy on PC. Like looking back. Like, I use my Xbox One X has been the best Netflix and app player I've ever had. Greatest. Ever since Post Up taught me how to put Cody on there. Listen, let me tell you something. Shout out to my boy Post. Yo, if you ever need to know how to put Cody on anything or anything like Cody, they got Post got new apps now. He'll tell you how to do it. That has been its best use.
Exactly. Right. Shout out to Lorenzo Carson. I appreciate that, my brother. He said, from what Xbox say, isn't Halo Infinite DLC? Listen, according to what they say, you know what I'm saying? Listen, the game is releasing in pieces. Some key components like Forge, assassinations, co-op, and stuff like that is not going to be there from the beginning. They're going to trickle out over the quarters into the future. It's supposed to be an infinite game. So they're just going to tack onto it over the years, kind of like Sea of Thieves. Y'all remember the Kraken was lacking in the beginning. It had very little content besides chasing pigs and stuff like that. But eventually, over time, right, they added stuff to it. You got Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that people engage with. And I guess if you're looking for engagement, it's there. It did what it was supposed to do. But at the same time, if I'm paying full price for that game, or if I'm spending money on a subscription service for this game, I want a complete game. I don't want a pieces game. You see what I'm saying? That's just me. Right. That's just me. But moving on to the bangers, right? The last 5 minutes of the show when Herman Holtz came out and said, okay, go ahead.
I got to get this off my heart right now because a lot of y'all are saying like some ridiculous stuff. God of War does not look like the version on PS4. And if you believe that, then that tells you how far ahead PlayStation is than Xbox. I hate to break it to you, but that's what it says. I'm telling you, when you snap this game in, it's going to be different, especially playing it at 60 frames per second. Absolutely. It's going to be in beast mode. Like, that game looked beautiful. I went back and watched the 4K trailers. I said, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more detail. You look off to the... What I was doing was looking off to the sides. I remember like in God of War for PS4, if you looked at certain things, like while he was getting off the boat, you could see like certain textures was like a little off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know what I mean? But it was still great for like a 1.8 T-flop console. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think
this time around, you're not getting that. Nah.
Absolutely.
This time around, we geared up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The clip is full, and this time around, trust me. Like that fidelity, that draw distance, y'all gonna be amazed. I promise you. Like, I know y'all think that you can go so much more further, but
yeah. Well,
graphically, this game is beautiful. I hate to break it to you.
It is. Absolutely. I think one thing that kind of frustrated me last generation is when you saw when the PS4 Pro came out and you saw the games run on PS4, they were running at 4K, checkerboard 4K or whatever. Those games look amazing. But people knocked it because when you were playing the same game on the original PS4, it looked amazing too. And so they knocked that as, well, the PS4 Pro isn't powerful and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And it's like, wait, that's not the console's fault. The developers are that fucking good where they can make a game look extremely amazing on 4.2 T-flop PS4 Pro, but they can also make it run and look just as beautiful on 1.86 T flop, 1.84 T flop, which mean
Right.
the talent that Sony developers have to be able to give you games that look goaties, right? Give you goaties where you don't have to turn the settings all the way down to low, to extremely low, to be, I mean, bro, I mean, that's talent. That's a
Right.
skill. That's something that you should be thankful for, because not everyone was able to afford a PS4 Pro. So that means if you couldn't afford a PS4 Pro, guess what? You still had a great experience. Your game still looked goaty material, right?
Mhm.
So fast forward to now, when you see these games, guess what? That God of War is still going to look amazing on the 1.84 T flop system. It's still going to run and look great on the PS4 Pro. It's just going to run godly and look godly on the PS5. That's it.
That's a fact.
Same for Spider-Man Miles Morales. I don't
You gotta.
understand how can you knock a company for making games that look great across any platform. Graphics, right? And we've already King, you the PC guru. You know this.
Right.
Graphics is not resolution at all. It's not resolution. The graphics are the
Right.
textures, the lighting techniques, the engine, and everything else that make that shit shine together.
Right.
And when you and let's get. I'm glad on this topic. Cross-gen. People are knocking cross-gen. Yes, we want a game to be PS5 only and X Series X only. We know that. That's what we want. But guess what? We're in a day and age where that can't happen at the moment because there's such a small install base, and these guys spend $100-200 million on these games. They want to recoup their money and they want to make it available for everybody. So I get it, but I'm glad at this show, this last 5 minutes, they showed you that these games are PS5 only. This is the cutoff point. So that should silence the critics. But when I saw Horizon Forbidden West that first time when they showed it with the gameplay running on the PS5, I said, holy shit, you couldn't have told me that was a cross-gen game. That game looked godly. There was nothing about it that looked like it was cross-gen. So I don't think it's necessary the cross-gen thing that makes a game look bad. I think it's up to the talent, to the developers. If you can make a game, and we all know Sony has the best developers in the industry with harnessing the power, whether it's 1 T flop or whether it's 10 T flops or whatever. But can you speak on the cross-gen thing right now? I think we kind
Here's
of
my thing about cross.
go
Let me
ahead.
tell you something, and this is what y'all need to get to your heads. Like PC does cross-gen no matter what. We have a new generation every 2 years.
Absolutely.
It doesn't really change. The difference is we get more frames. Some of us have ray tracing. Like it's just more powerful. We get more frames, more. You can turn everything up higher. Like you're gonna know basically you're gonna know the difference jumping from PS4 to PS5.
Absolutely.
It's everything higher settings. That's all it is. That's the main difference between PC and console. We turn everything up to. I can turn everything up to the highest fidelity. You know what I mean? I'm getting high frame rates. It's just like that, man.
Absolutely.
It's not going. I mean, some things are held back. Don't get it twisted. Like
the
size of the map,
absolutely,
size of things like that. But it's just like what is that Battlefield where only 60 some can be on PS4
on the last gen
like
console.
That. Yeah, and more can be on
128 can be for the
So what I mean, there's gonna be things like that. But when it comes to graphics and all that, like you can work with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's not that big. I put it like this: we'll wait. And we're gonna put God of War up against something from the other side that's not cross-gen. And we'll see how it evens out.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only game that's not cross-gen on the Xbox is the Medium.
I'm not even gonna talk about that. Nah, we're not doing that.
Shout out to Verge Brizzle with the $2, my brother. He said, "You're a natural at this, Jay. Big up to King. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that." I mean, let's not even go there. But last not least,
hey, before we switch topics, I want to give a big shout out to Sony Santa Monica for using the real look of Thor. Let me tell you something. No other company would have went there. He'd have had blonde hair, blue eyes, any other company.
Fuck that shit.
Trust me. He would have had
Absolutely.
that. And only Sony would have had a gall to go with the natural, what it said Thor to look like. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because he drank so much. You know what I'm saying? Him being a bigger dude. He's like 7 foot tall.
Absolutely.
And he's fat, like a big dude. Y'all got to remember, the strongest people in the world aren't skinny dudes. In fact, the Mountain from Game of Thrones is one of the strongest people in the world. You see what he looked like.
Look at Mark Henry, right? Look at all of those big strong men in the world. Aren't these just cut, ripped dudes? They're big by nature. They're just big dudes. They're strong. Most of them have a gut. Most of them have a little, you know, that's just what they are. They don't have this imaginary, you know, I've been in the gym every week with 12 packs and I'm cut up and everything. They don't, that's fictional in the grand scheme of things in this mythology. So you're right. You're absolutely right.
Like I swear, bro, I like the kind of respect I have for them for doing that. You know, I made a tweet and everything. I had to salute them for doing it because normally, you know what it'd have been. He looked like MCU Thor. Come on, man.
That's true. It looked like Chris Hemsworth or whatever his name. Yeah, whichever one of the Hemsworth brothers. Yeah, and maybe that's the knock that the Avengers game that Square Enix put out got, because the characters didn't look like the movie. And I get it, for various reasons they couldn't have the movie characters in there, but it kind of turned a lot of people off. So when people see Thor, they want that MCU Thor, right? And it's like, dude, that's not that Thor. That's not that guy. You know, it's the mythology. This is Sony's version of that mythology. You know, the mythology is a story. You know, I made up out of the blue. It was written, and this is how it is. They kind of describe people in there, but it never had a picture, right? It never had a picture in it. It's kind of like the Bible, right? They don't have pictures in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You just got to use imagination. Yeah, but you're right. You're absolutely right. But you know what? There's a lot of people that aren't into Norse mythology. They never read Norse mythology, and they don't even know they just know from Thor from the comic books. And I'll be honest, I'm one of them. I used to love Thor in the comic books, but when it come to Norse mythology, I never really kind of cared for it. I knew about it, but I never really cared about it. So when this came out, however they present Thor and the rest of those characters, Loki and all those guys, however they present them, I have to take that for face value.
Right. I've always been in a Greek and Norse mythology. I haven't been heavy in the Norse mythology as I've been in the Greek, but you know, I know I knew a few things. You know what I'm saying? And I always knew that Thor is not what, like, how you see him in MCU. That's just not Thor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wondered because you remember at the end of God of War 2018, that first one when Thor came, he kind of looked like a pudgy. You know, he had the fat fingers. He kind of looked like a pudgy character. And I think that kind of shocked me because I was expecting Thor to be this big, tall, slim, muscular guy. But then he kind of came out. He had some girth to him. And maybe that just kind of, I was like, okay. You know, we'll see how Thor is going to look. So when they finally came out with the photos of Thor and who's playing Thor and stuff like that, I think it just took a lot of people, you know, it just shocked a lot of people.
Right.
All right. So last but not least, they come out, they show Wolverine, they show Spider-Man 2, they cap off with God of War. And you know, shout out to I think it's the Candyman guy, Todd, David Todd or somebody, I forgot his name, but he's going to be playing the in Spider-Man 2, he's going to be playing Venom. And so he sounds just like, I mean, he did it right. He did a little Instagram post or whatever doing his rendition. And man, he looked inside. He's really into character and this stuff. So shout out to him. I can't wait to play the game. But when they capped this show off at the end, when they sent you off, how did you feel after watching this show? With all the doubt that you had in your mind, if Sony still had it, is it going away? Do you doubt? Do you still doubt?
I never doubted them in the first place. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I already knew. Like, I feel like Microsoft punched they punched PlayStation in the face during the 360 era. Even though Sony caught back up at the end, But after that, Sony's like, yo, you'll never get that hit off again. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fight. It's been looking like Mayweather versus Canelo since then. You know what I'm saying? He's not there. They're not there to hit. You know what I'm saying? Sony has been. They've had their Nikes on their neck, man. Like it's been very bad, and I felt like I always knew that this generation they gonna show the bangers. They're gonna show the bangers, but they came out here really with, like I told you, this was just a teaser trailer. What they got coming, you don't. They have a lot more in store. They have a lot of studios with a lot of things in development. They just gonna show you a little bit. We're gonna feed you some more, a little bit more, a little bit later. Don't worry about it. We on the way. Like,
with that being said, do you think the reason they just showed? I mean, technically, they only just showed 4 or 5 games as that most people really care about. Do you think they just do that because they don't have any? Do you think they feel they have competition at this point? Like, why would they come out and show you 20 brand new AAA IP from Sony Santa Monica's second game, Sucker Punch second game, Naughty Dog second game, right? And then all kind of. Do you think they're not in a position where they feel like they have to do that? Do you think that's them at this moment?
I think they understand that they are the only ones focused purely on gaming. Like, gaming as we know it, you know what I'm saying? The other companies, they're focused. I mean, Nintendo is too, but Nintendo doesn't want to, they don't want to compete as far as like power and everything. They just got Nintendo has their own thing going. You know what I'm saying? The Switch is, to me, it's his own thing. Handhelds and all that, it's his own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like Sony is focused.
Yeah.
I feel like the competition wants to do everything, but doesn't want to master one thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they want to do subscriptions. They want to be on every TV screen. They want to go ahead, play outside the box. They want to do everything that they can do.
Yeah.
Yet they're a master of none. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though Sony is literally like the master of this console space. Like, they've really got this shit locked. And I apologize for the cursing, but they really got it locked. They know what they want to do. The plan is there. Everybody thought that they were kind of like scatterbrained after the last generation. They're not ready. No, they're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready. They know what they're doing.
Listen, the mere fact that they launched with 7 next generation games at launch, 7, including, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Sackboy, and some of the other games that they were ready, whereas the competition launched not even with one single game for the next generation.
Facts.
So that backs up your statement that Sony was ready. They came, and I think the reason why Sony are in the position they're in is because they have no choice, right? Like you said, they got socked in the mouth by Microsoft in the 360 era. They lost so much money and they were in the red and everything else. And once they finally got rolling, they said, hey, enough of this. We're going to cut the fat. We're going to double down, focus on PlayStation, and do everything we can to make that successful. That's going to be our breadwinner. And they've been just investing on themselves every single time, whether it's VR, whether it's, hell, they got 3 or 4 of their IPs are actually making movies and TV shows. Let that sink in. Right. On top of partnering with Marvel and getting these, they're setting themselves up to have an MCU of video games, right? So they see the long-term strategy of this stuff, and they're doubling down on themselves. And keep in mind, Sony has a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the type of money that Microsoft has. Yet they spend the bulk of it on doubling down back into their studios, and I applaud them for that. It's showing off. The gamers are happy. We're eating good. We're going to be eating good in the future. I don't think they have anything to worry about with the competition, but I really would like Microsoft to get in a similar stride where we can stop, stop the mockery and the Xbox. They've been going with this Xbox things for 20 years now. I think this year was their 20th anniversary. This will be their 20th anniversary with Halo, with the launch of Halo. 20 years. If you haven't got it together in 20 years, King, I'm at this point now is, will you ever get it together?
Yeah. I can't really call it with them. I feel like they starting to go towards the right direction.
Hmm.
I feel like last generation was so bad for Microsoft, bro. Like
Yeah,
it kind of tore their whole identity up, like to a point where a lot of people didn't even know who they were anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
games they were putting out, you're like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Phantom Dust, original assets. So
Mm.
I'm sorry, but I'm always gonna keep saying this. Sea of Thieves, like man, listen,
The
I know people love it, but
crackdowns. Yeah.
I come from the original Xbox. You know what I mean? When it
Yeah.
first came out, we was playing shooters and hardcore games. Like you wasn't, Crimson Skies,
Hmm.
Halo 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gear Gears on the 360. But like we was playing shit like that, but like when I started seeing like games they were dropping last gen, I'm like, man, what is this, bro? Like, come on, man.
It was a slaughter
Come on now.
fest. It was a slaughter fest, and all the excuses that guys made for them, and I get it. All their internal struggles, I get that. Every company had it. The point is, King, is that Nintendo came out with the Wii U. It was an epic failure. You know what they did? They didn't sit there and cry and give up, right? What
Right.
they did, they canceled that console. They got rid of it. They retooled. They launched with the Switch, and they've been killing it, killing the game ever since, right? It's just like the Wii U never existed in their world and to gamers. Now,
Right.
in the PS3 era, Sony came out with a console that was $200 more expensive. It came out a year to 2 years later. It didn't have Rumble in the controller. Their network got hacked. The network went down. It was the ultimate failure of all failures. They didn't give up. You know what they did? They retooled, they slimmed the console, they yanked all the USB and card reader ports out. They deduct the price by $200. They start releasing games like Uncharted 2, The Last of Us, and all these games, right? And the rest is history. So that tells you you can redeem yourself. All you got to do is retool, start releasing games that people care about. You got to have games that people care about. If you don't, if you releasing like the Bleeding Edges, the Battle Toads, and and all those games that nobody care about, your console is going to be defined by that. And right
Right.
now, people sum up a lot of us in the YouTube and Twitter sphere. We sum up Microsoft as that Xbox template, and that's that yellow 69, 68 Metacritic because they have a substantial amount of games that always come out there. So we doubt every game that comes out. We doubt that they can even make it to a 70 Metacritic, a green Metacritic score, and that is a problem. That's not a good thing. Gamers should have confidence in something and not that fake confidence. Whereas, yeah, the Ascent scored a 64 Metacritic, but I had fun with it and I'm having fun with it, and Metacritic scores don't matter. Come on, everyone loves to take pride in their games, in their console, in their purchases. That's everybody. It doesn't matter. When you buy a brand new car, King, when you buy a brand new house, right? Don't you take pride in your stuff, right? That
Yes, sir.
symbolizes you. That symbolizes you. Well, I bought this and this is a representation of me and it's going to give me back what I put in it. It's the same thing with console. It's the same thing with sports teams. Depending on who you like for a sports team, you take pride in it. And I think Xbox need to find their way. I think they did right. They spent a lot of money. 7.5 billion is nothing to sneeze at. They're going to get there. I
Yeah.
just hope it's not too late where gamers have already just given up on them.
And I hope they stay
And that's the
focused
problem.
on I just hope they stay focused on gaming and like I know they want to jump outside the box, but you got to focus on the box first.
Absolutely.
That's the like every time they start falling off, they start focusing on other things like
At your base. Your box will always be your
TV,
base.
TVs,
Yeah.
connects. I
Yeah.
mean, stupid stuff, gimmicky stuff. Like focus on the box, focus on gaming. I promise you're gonna come out on top. Or you're gonna have
Absolutely.
your best. You're gonna have the best you can do.
Absolutely. Verge Brizzle with the $5, my brother. He said, "This is the podcast for grown men. I listen in front of my girl. No fanboy ish, just real conversation. Nobody does this. Keep King if available." I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. Man, it's been an hour already, man. King, I'm sorry I told you I was going to take up about 30 minutes of your time. But again, man, when you come with that wisdom and that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And you come from a different perspective, not from a fanboy perspective, because you game on PC and you own everything. But it is great to get that type of insight from you because you're looking at it from the outside looking in. And, thank you for coming on the show, man, and rocking out with me and, letting us all know what was your experience and what would you like to see going forward from Microsoft and Sony. And did Sony knock it out the park? Did they do what you wanted them to do? And you said with a resounding yes. And I accept that and I agree with you, man. Anyway, thank you for coming on, my brother.
Thank you. Good conversation. Good to tap in with my bro.
Big facts.
Light work.
Big facts. Big facts. Thank y'all for that came and rocked out with me. Lorenzo, Surgeon 12, all y'all, man. Morgan Combs, all y'all. Verge Brizzle, all y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. Thank y'all for the support. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. I'll be doing more of these. I got a long laundry list of YouTube and content creators and people in the Twitter sphere that's going to come over here and get interviewed by me. I want to get their opinion. I want to know what they think about it. I want to see, how can we fix this? How can we fix what's going on in the industry, whether it's good or bad? Anyway, it's your boy JayDub, and I'm out. Peace.